welcome to my channel. For high school friends Alex, Maya, Jordan and Lena decided to do one last getaway in the Great Smoky Mountains in Tennessee, USA. Before they all went off to college, they planned to hike to a scenic spot, get some drone shots and share some scary campfire stories. But the weather had other plans for them. As they made their way through the woods, a thick fog began to roll in. Their GPS device froze and they lost cell signal. The dense fog made it impossible to see the trails and they soon realized they were lost. Just when they began to panic, they saw a faint light ahead. As they walked towards it, they came across a log cabin in the middle of the woods. They cautiously approached the front door and knocked. No one answered. They tried the door and it was unlocked. As they stepped inside, they noticed that, although the cabin was freezing cold, it looked like someone had recently been living there. There was a lit fireplace, but there wasn't a single piece of wood in the entire cabin or anywhere outside. On the walls were old photos of people from different eras, but they couldn't tell if the cabin had been abandoned or if the people in the pictures had simply vanished. Then they heard a radio playing static in the corner. What made this strange was that there was no visible power source. Suddenly, the radio changed frequencies and whispered, "Choose the one who stays. The others can run." They all turned to look at the fireplace. In the old cracked mirror above it, they saw 5 people staring back at them. 4 of them were their friends. The 5th was a stranger who seemed to be beckoning them closer. Startled, Lena took a step back. She couldn't help but smile at the terrifying sight before her. In a panic, she turned and ran. The friends followed her out of the cabin, desperate to escape. But the front door was gone. In its place was a solid stone wall. They tried the windows, but they wouldn't break. The radio continued to whisper, "One always walks away." To remember, just as Lena had disappeared from sight, Tarufa, Jordan and Maya ran in opposite directions, hoping to find the trail. But neither of them ever made it out of the woods alive. Alex remained frozen in fear as the door behind him rattled. The radio whispered again, "One always walks away to remember." Then everything went silent. Alex woke up on the hiking trail with no memory of what had happened. He was holding Lena's phone, which had been recording the whole time. When he looked at the footage, it was of their 4 friends walking down the trail. But sometimes when he watched it, there were 5 figures, sometimes 4, and sometimes no one at all. Alex never spoke of what had happened to him, but every October he could hear the radio static in his dreams, and he knew that somewhere in the woods, the cabin waited patiently for its next victims. The last thing he remembered Lena saying was, "What if it didn't find us? What if we called it